What happened here, in simple terms, is this. The Kansas City Chiefs had a season that fell completely outside of their modern standard. A team that has lived in January football finished 6-11, missed the playoffs, and for the first time in years looked unsure of itself in the moments that usually define who they are. When that happens under Andy Reid, the response is rarely loud or dramatic. It's internal. It's structural. And that's exactly what we're seeing now with changes across the coaching staff and the offense being quietly reset from the inside out. Now, with that context set, let me step into this the right way. I'm Daniel. And here on RedZone Kingdom, I don't react to headlines, and I don't chase panic. I slow the game down. I look at situations. I focus on how football actually works when space disappears, when the clock tightens, and when one decision changes the outcome of a drive. And today, I also want to speak naturally, as someone who understands the game, but who also cares deeply about this team. Because when you go back and really watch the 2025 Chiefs, snap by snap, the problem wasn't effort. It wasn't talent. It was something more subtle, and honestly more concerning, a loss of situational identity. Let's start with the red zone, because that's always the clearest window into who a team really is. For anyone newer to the game, the red zone is any play run inside the opponent's 20-yard line. This is where defenses change behavior completely. Safeties come downhill. Linebackers stop worrying about depth and start worrying about leverage. Passing windows shrink, and every mistake gets magnified. In this space, execution matters more than creativity. For years, Kansas City dominated here. Earlier in Patrick Mahomes' career, red zone possessions felt inevitable. Motion created hesitation. Defenders were forced to communicate late. Travis Kelce consistently won with leverage and timing, not just athleticism. And Andy Reid's sequencing, not just play design, but the order of plays, constantly put defenses a step behind. In 2025, that advantage faded. Not in obvious ways. This wasn't about blown assignments or missed blocks every snap. It was about half steps. Routes that developed a beat too slowly. Motion that didn't force a defensive adjustment. First down calls inside the 15 that didn't threaten the defense vertically or horizontally. And when that happens, the red zone stops being a strength and starts becoming a grind. Third down tells the same story. Third down isn't just about conversion percentage. It's about confidence. It's about knowing exactly where your favorable matchup is before the ball is snapped. It's about understanding how a defense behaves under stress. In 2025, the Chiefs still converted tough third downs, because Mahomes can solve problems on his own, but the overall efficiency dropped, especially in third and short situations near the goal line. Those used to be automatic. When 3rd and 3 turns into a contested throw instead of a clean concept, that's a sign something upstream isn't quite right. And that brings us to coaching. Every position coach carries responsibility for very specific details. Running backs coaches teach footwork, patience, and aiming points. Wide receivers coaches teach how to adjust routes against tight coverage, how to read leverage, how to win without space. Offensive assistants help tie those pieces together so the quarterback sees the same picture the receiver sees. When those details fall slightly out of sync, the offense still functions, but it loses its edge. That's what I saw last season. Even with Isaiah Pacheco running as hard as ever, there were red zone runs where the blocking angle didn't quite match the runner's path. And near the goal line, the run game isn't about explosiveness, it's about timing and trust. One missed step, and a 2-yard gain becomes no gain. As a fan, that's tough to watch. Not because it's ugly football, but because you recognize what's missing. This is where I want to be very clear. These coaching changes aren't chaos. They're correction. Andy Reid has always been consistent in one quiet way. If something stops working, he fixes it. He doesn't protect ideas out of loyalty. He protects standards. And 6 wins, especially with this quarterback and this infrastructure, doesn't meet the standard. Bringing familiar voices back while letting others go isn't contradiction. It's recalibration. From a football standpoint, this matters most in one area: teaching. How concepts are installed on Wednesday shows up on 3rd and goal on Sunday. How reads are explained in meetings shows up in Mahomes' pre-snap confidence. How spacing is emphasized shows up in whether a throw feels clean or contested. As someone who watches this team closely, I don't see an organization falling apart. I see an organization uncomfortable with losing. That's an important difference. Teams that are fine with decline blame injuries, bad luck, or the schedule. Teams that expect more look inward and adjust structure. That's what Kansas City is doing right now. Looking ahead to 2026, this reset becomes even more important. With free agency, the draft, and a roster that will inevitably evolve, the Chiefs can't afford to drift situationally. Their identity has always been clarity under pressure, decisiveness when space disappears, precision when defenses know what's coming but can't stop it anyway. Those traits don't come from hype. They come from habits. What I'll be watching, and what I always watch, are the small things. How motion is used inside the 10. How Kelsey is aligned on critical third downs. How the run game is sequenced near the goal line. How the offense manages tempo when the clock becomes a factor. Because that's where this team tells you who it really is. The 2025 season doesn't erase the Chiefs' DNA, but it does challenge them to rediscover it. And historically, when Kansas City is challenged like this, the response isn't loud, it's precise. I'm not interested in narratives. I'm interested in signals. And right now, the signals say this team is trying to reestablish itself where it's always been most dangerous. When the field is short, the margin is thin, and execution has to be perfect. That's what we'll keep breaking down here, play by play, situation by situation.